And here we go. Welcome to the table. Welcome to Azmyth Busters. Welcome to Session 1, Episode 1 of our adventure, The Fall of Plaguestone. We have already introduced all of our players to you. You've met each of my players. You've met their characters a little bit. I'm sure you're eager to find out more about all of them, and you will. You'll have plenty of opportunity for that. Before we get down to the nitty-gritty of things, do any of you players have any questions, or is everybody good to go? Everybody solid with where they're at? Any last minute preparations or adjustments that we have to make before we get started? Everybody good? Thumbs up across the board. All right, get down. Okay, so we begin our adventure with all of you not necessarily having strong bonds or relationships yet at this part of the story. Certainly we've established that some of you do. But it's unlikely that anything other than this particular caravan trip is what has brought you together. You are traveling on the caravan of a dwarf by the name of Bort. And Bort's caravan, it travels all around the Five Kingdom Mountains and into the lands beyond. Bort's merchant caravan is well known and regarded as a fair and honest purveyor of goods, raw materials, and supplies. You've all managed to use some of your last coin in pocket to get yourself onto this caravan. You might have even negotiated yourself a sweet little deal by doing some odd jobs for Bort while you're here on the caravan. To that extent is up to you, and I will allow you to share that with us when we have a chance. The caravan, including Bort Bargith is his name. Bort is a dwarven merchant, as I said, and he keeps his prestigious beard immaculately trimmed and well maintained. Bort is a friendly, honest merchant who prides himself on having whatever a small community might need. He's warm and caring towards the member of his crew, polite and courteous to his paying passengers. Some of you may have decided to be passengers, while others may be working for your passage. He can often be found with a mug of ale in one hand and savory food in the other, telling some outlandish story about his travels, which he generally involves him getting out of danger in the most ridiculous of ways. He seems slow to anger, and although you haven't spent much time with him, he is quick to laugh and more than capable of verbally dancing out of any danger. You can see why he has likely gravitated to the position of a caravan master, because he is such a great negotiator and he's a great speaker, and people tend to like him. In addition to Bort, the caravan has an old male elf. People call him Cookie. There is a teamster, a female gnome by the name of Glunda. There are a couple of human teamsters. They are brothers, Ulf and Ulf, the Redfin brothers, and a half-orc, female half-orc by the name of Tomli. So besides yourselves, I'd like you to take the opportunity to describe yourselves as you appear in the day-to-day of traveling in the caravan, and maybe what you do to pass the time, what you do to pass maybe the monotony. If you're not working for the caravan, perhaps you're doing something else. Who'd like to start with that?
I'll go ahead and start. So Theron is a rather plain-looking dwarf. Beard, wears traditional dwarven outfit, including a clan dagger at his side. But most of the time he spends either trying to write on one of the wagons and getting a bit upset at the bumps. And so he will put his pen and parchment and writing kit away and instead is reading a rather dense book.
Okay, awesome. Perhaps Theron and Bort have established a bit of a rapport, being two of the few dwarves in the caravan, and certainly Bort is the type that would want to discuss hygiene and dwarven styles of dress and that manner. If you would so entertain such things, I'm sure you would grow to be one of his favorites in the caravan on this particular leg of the passage. Who would like to go next?
I'll go if no one else will.
All right.
So I'm Simon Speedfoot. I am a green-skinned goblin with sharp red eyes, very large ears. Even for a goblin, I have very large ears. My attire consists of a bright purple cloak and mismatched pieces of scale mail armor, as you would find on a bounty hunter, soldier of fortune, that sort of thing. I tend to spend most of my time either bothering Desna, as we've been traveling companions for some time, or bothering Theron by standing over his shoulder and asking him what he's reading or what he's writing. And my guess is Theron just probably gives me the eyebrow and doesn't say much, and then I just walk away. So Simon is sort of like the curious cat. He just wants to talk to everyone and bother them and see what they're doing, and what does that buckle do? That sort of thing.
Perhaps
so that's what I'm doing. That's Simon.
Perhaps a little too friendly and a little too curious.
Right. To the point of please leave us alone, you strange little goblin.
Okay.
So
Desna, what do you do to pass the time while you're riding in this caravan?
I love being bothered by Simon. That's my number one hobby. When we're not traveling around, that's basically what I deal with. Otherwise, she's a typical gnome, very colorful. She wears simple sorcerer robes, has some light blue tattoos, up hands and arms, pink and purple hair, blue eyes, very colorful to match her personality. And she does a little bit of everything. She gets bored with hobbies pretty easily. So a lot of my money will go to, if it's not hobbies, it's food.
Okay. How about Daisy?
So the first time you see Daisy, he looks for everything just kind of like a country bumpkin, like a well-fed sort of, townie. And so it might have been surprising the first time you saw him put on his breastplate and actually start talking about serving Caden Kalian and how serious he takes his role as a liberator. Because most of the time he seems really just serious about manning the barbecue pit, pouring ale for other people, and doing dishes. But towards the end of the night, when he starts drinking, once he makes sure sort of like everyone around him is already taken care of, then the fiddle comes out, and then he can take it on till dawn at that point. And then to just be hale and hearty and ready for the road the next day. And that's basically Daisy. He's friendly and gregarious and earnest and maybe a little naive and kind of simple in his outlook.
Fantastic. All right. Electra?
She's 7 feet, regal, noble looking. She has a heavy persona. She'll cast an image of fierceness as she walks through the door. All eyes are on her. When she's not adventuring, she is definitely combing her hair, making sure all her finery is in order, and making sure that she keeps that shield of armor around her, not letting you see the real vulnerability.
Sure.
That's there.
So she grooms a lot. She's constantly maintaining her weapons and keeping everything polished and oiled, and she's meticulous.
And she needs a lot of sleep, so She's not going to be wanting to do any night watch. She'll pass or
Fantastic.
bribe someone to take her turn.
That's fantastic. All right. Did I forget anybody? I think that covers everybody, doesn't it? I think it does. So let me share with you. You saw a little sneak peek of that, but let me share with you the path the caravan is expected to take. And the yellow line that shows the pathway from Eladir, which is the capital of Isgar, all the way south through Falcon's Hollow, Orgent, and then finally to Almas, which is the capital of Andoran. This is the current route that the caravan is taking. Bort has told some stories throughout the evenings that you've been in the caravan already, and he is also tells you that the caravan will, when season and when the roads will allow it, they will also travel into the Five King Mountains and as far north as High Helm. But when it's frozen, they tend to stay to the lowlands. And that's the path that you are currently on now. We are at this stage of our journey. Our adventure begins. It has been 3 days since you left Eladir, climbing into the back of one of Bolt Bargus' wagons bound for the faraway capital of Almas. The smiling caravan master cut your travel costs to only a handful of coppers, so long as you promised to protect the wagons should any trouble arise. Seemed like a pretty fair deal. Fortunately, your adventure through the hinterlands of Isgar have been quiet, even if the ride itself has been far from comfortable. As you broke camp this morning, Bort announced you should arrive at the town of Etrin's Folly by nightfall, and he promised a comfortable bed for the night as a reward for the long day's journey. The caravan's teamsters share a chuckle between them, trading knowing glances and subtle nods. But soon enough, you are on the road again, and the wagon bouncing and creaking along the uneven trail.
Of course, the knowing glances and nods is something Theron is very interested in. He likes to know what's going up. So I'm going to approach the Redfin brothers.
Sure, absolutely. Okay.
So are there no beds where we're going, or is this town a little strange?
What? Plaguestone? What you mean, strange? There are beds there. What have you heard?
Well, you seemed entertained by some of Vort's comments, so I'm wondering what you know about the town. I don't know anything about it at all. It doesn't even appear on most of the maps in this region.
They kind of look at each other, and then one of them looks back to you, and he says, well, the accommodations in Etrin's Folly are hardly better than the ground outside, and the smell of the place, and the other one cuts in, even worse. Yes, even worse. Except...
You mentioned Plaguestone. What is that?
Well, there was a virulent plague that nearly wiped out the community 20 years ago. Although none are so rude as to use the name in front of anyone who lives there. That would be very uncouth behavior.
So what do they call it?
Well, its name is Etrin's Folly.
Oh, right. That's right. You told me about that earlier.
So as a person who doesn't really appreciate folly, why do they call it that?
Well, I don't know exactly. I believe it has something to do with the man who founded the place. I don't think it was very good luck for him, hence the folly part.
Yes. All right, I stomp
Yeah.
away.
Before you stomp away, he's like, well, do you know anything, Theron? Do you know anything? You seem like a man who asks lots of questions. Do you know anything? Perhaps you can tell me something.
About Etrin's Folly. Never even heard of it until today. Like I said, it doesn't show up on any of the maps that I've seen.
I understand at least one or two on the manifest are locals returning home. I thought perhaps you might have been one of them. I was mistaken. My bad.
No, thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
And you break away and you walk away from him. Or should I say, since the caravan is basically moving, the caravan moves slow enough that you can hop off a wagon and you can kind of hustle alongside the wagons to walk up to the next one and talk to somebody, and then just basically stop and let the wagon catch up to you and then climb back onto your wagon. So it's easy to move around them. And just because the caravan is in motion by no means indicates that you can't move around. Right now, and this is very arbitrary. Right now, I have Electra and Theron riding in, and it's not even the lead, but compared to the two wagons that the characters are in, two of you are in the front wagon and three of you are in the back. So I have Daisy, Desna, and Simon. I imagine Desna and Simon are virtually inseparable on this ride. So you guys would always be riding in the same wagon together. And Daisy, you have no hard code to one or the other. You're probably floating back and forth just to give you an opportunity to play music and speak with everyone as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Desna and I are riding in the same wagon, but she keeps pushing me out onto the ground and then laughing.
I'm just
Well, like 6 times. I don't know what, and it's fine.
Makes perfectly good sense.
But I get bored easily, so.
Right.
So currently I have two of you in one wagon, three of you in the other. You're not in the leads. There are several wagons in front and a couple wagons in the back. So you guys are kind of in the middle as far as the spread goes. Well, we don't want to do that, do we? No, let's get at that. Let's get that out of there. That's better. Yeah, let's do that. So this part of Isgar, it is sparsely populated. It consists mostly of small rural farms and isolated communities, communities that tend to frown upon travelers. And it seems like the only reason why the caravan was even welcomed at all was because of the wares and the trade that they brought. For the most part, you find the Isgarian people here along this line to be a little xenophobic and to be a little superstitious as well. They didn't take too kindly to Simon. They didn't. They haven't accepted the new laws of the land that have given goblins their rights and their freedoms like any other civilized individual. So, despite Simon's best efforts to be friendly with folks and to meet people and to experience the people of the land, he oftentimes found a very unwarm welcome. And oftentimes saddened, would find himself back on the wagon, so to speak, in order to avoid ridicule. And at some point, maybe one of the other merchants might have even told you, Simon, that you're kind of screwing up my thing here. Like, can you move along, kind of thing? You're scaring people away. So there's been a little bit of that, unfortunately, for Simon. It is a temperate land, with frequent light rains and rich smell of damp earth wafting on a pleasant breeze. The trail winds all the way through the lowlands, passing along streams and through small forests. The game in this area has only recently recovered after years of war has drove it into hiding. For the most part, as we said, you're about 3 days out on your journey. So, the evenings have been really uneventful. Maybe the first or second night, people were a little twitchy. Maybe there was more people on. I'm on guard. I'm on guard. I'm on watch. Everybody's on watch the first night. And by the second and now the third night, people have relaxed because, for the most part, everyone's getting really good night's sleep. And there hasn't been a need for those of you who have booked passage as passengers. There hasn't been a need for you to be involved on this level at all. You can simply just enjoy the ride. Those of you who have maybe decided to work a little bit, maybe you want to be on watch duty. It helps you ease your nerves. They were largely spent with just a bunch of people around a fire telling stories because not much more than that happened. Halfway through this third day, you hear from, you hear from one of the teamsters up ahead. Up ahead is Plaguestone! Keldarin shouts from the front of the wagon. No sooner does the call fade from his lips than is it overshadowed by a series of long, mournful howls emanating from the woods to either side of the caravan. Moments following that, you hear cries of panic as a pack of mangy wolves descends from the forest with teeth bared. So we're going to roll initiative, and we're going to enter combat for the first time. Brave warriors.
So much for not using the word Plaguestone in public.
Try that one more time. We had a weird echo happen.
No. So much for not using the word Plaguestone in public.
Well, in front of locals. Yes, exactly. Let's get him here. No, wrong one. And pull him over here and do this. All right.
So is initiative a straight 20 or is there a modifier?
Your initiative modifier in Pathfinder 2 is determined by, it's determined by a number of skills. It can be your perception modifier. It can be determined by a number of things. I think in this case, all of you are riding on wagons and in basically watch and other modes. So yes. Okay. All right. Get the character sheets here. So, Simon, what do you got?
I rolled a 12. I'm just not sure what to modify that with.
What to modify your initiative with?
Your
right. Or is there
Perception.
Perception. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
So 16 then.
A 16. Okay. 16. Thank you. Desna?
I rolled a 9. I also don't know what to modify it with.
What in your perception on your sheet? What does it say?
5.
So you add that to the 9, so 14.
14.
Yep.
Daisy. Okay. 14. And that was on, and your perception's on a 5, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Simon, yours is a plus what?
Mine's a +4.
+4. Thank you. Daisy, what is your initiative?
I rolled a 14 for a total of 17.
17 on a 3. Thank you. Theron?
I rolled a 6 + 7, so 13.
13, 7, and Electra.
12 + 5, 17.
17 on a 5. Okay. And these guys are 6, 4 up, 10 on a 4. Okay. At the top of the order, Electra is going to go first, followed by Daisy, followed by Simon, Desna, then Theron. So, Electra, you have 3 action tokens on your turn. This is you up here. Let me go. Oh yeah, I'm forgetting one critical element, don't I? Let me throw some monsters on there. So they're coming out of the woods to the sides here, 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 and here. So those 4 represent the targets that you can attack. And you have 3 action tokens that you can spend on the round. Various things that you do cost different actions, etc. So if you want to talk through some ideas like what you think you might want to do, then we can kind of coach you through what kind of actions it would take and what results that might be. But you are at the top of the order, so you have the quickest reaction, so therefore you get to move first.
Okay, and you said they are coming out of the woods snarling and aggressive.
They are. They're coming out of the woods. They're snarling, baring teeth. They're attacking as a pack, so you definitely feel that these are hungries coming at you. 3 of them seem smaller and mangy. One seems slightly larger than the rest.
Which one is the larger one?
The larger one is this guy here.
Okay.
He's hanging back from all the rest while the other 3 are kind of advancing.
Okay, and then how far is the one right next to me on my left? Is that like 10 feet?
This guy right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would dismounting off the wagon will cost you basically 2 squares of movement, and that'll put you in the first square, and then a 3rd square of movement to get base to base with him. He's easier. I guess I should have placed them actually centered in squares instead of just arbitrarily plop them down.
Snap to grid. Snap to grid.
Snap to grid. Oh, you kids, and you're snapping to grids. And
Well, I want to dismount from the.
all right, so you want to step off towards the wolf over here. You're going to engage this guy here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're going to step off. Maybe draw your weapons as you're stepping off.
Yes.
Does drawing your weapons take an action token? I don't know, Stephen. Does drawing a weapon take an action token?
It does. It's an interact action.
An interact, and she's a 2-weapon fighter, so
Right.
she would only be able to draw one of them. Correct? Or
Yes.
Or does that action economy?
Unless they have like a quick draw or a feat or something.
No feat like that. So what we're talking about is one of your 3 action tokens will be moving off the wagon and moving over to the wolf. So that's 1.
Okay.
The other action token is drawing your weapon. So you're drawing just your longsword. You don't have your short sword out yet, so just your longsword. And then your 3rd action token could be spent attacking him.
Yeah, that's what I would want to do. Stab it.
Awesome. Fantastic. So look at your longsword, your matrix for your longsword to determine your 2 hits. Did we finish up the combat matrix for those characters, Buster? Buster 1?
I believe that we did. Yes, I believe that we have her weapons listed with the hit die and damage types and so forth.
Awesome. So on your character record sheet where it says melee strikes, you're looking where your longsword is, and you want to roll a d20 and add your modifier to that to see if you meet or exceed the creature's armor class.
You know what? The one thing we might not have done for that, Electra, is I'm not sure that I actually put your strength modifier in that box, so we may need to do that manually, and I apologize.
That's okay. So my strength modifier is 2. So I roll.
Right. So what you want to do for the long sword and the short sword in the boxes on your character sheet, you want to make sure there's it should have a melee strike and then a number and then an equal sign and then a strength box.
Mm-hmm.
Put 2 in both of those because it's going to change those numbers.
Okay.
And proficiency auto-fills on those, doesn't it?
If it's checked, I can't remember if I checked her expertise or training next to those. So you might have to check that as well.
So
I believe you have expertise in both weapons, I think.
You do. You have expertise in martial and simple weapons.
Right.
So expertise will give you a +4 bonus, right? It's 2, and then it doubles to 4 at expert.
I think so, but if you check the box, Electra, it'll auto calculate.
Yeah.
But I believe you're right, Azmyth.
So what's the total bonus to hit?
So it's 13, and then I'm going to add 7.
So 20. That's awesome.
All right. Let's do that one more time. So what's your total bonus to hit with your longsword?
20.
20. All right. So
bonus is 7. She rolled a 13. The bonus is 7.
Perfect. That definitely hits his armor class. Now you can roll your damage, which is 1d8, I believe. 1d8 plus your strength modifier.
Eight.
So your strength modifier, I believe, is 2.
Yeah.
Electra, so that'll be 10 total.
So 10 points of damage.
Oh, very good.
All right. You kill it.
Oh,
You kill it with one swift blow.
you're welcome.
Do not mess with Electra.
Okay. Electra's turn is over with all 3 of your actions spent. And we go to Daisy on 17. Daisy, you are currently back here in the rear caravan wagon. There is one critter. There's a wolf here that's approximately 10 feet off the side of the wagon that you are in.
All right. Yeah. So he's like, oh, you mangy butts. And he like draws his rapier and dons his shield. He basically just wants to like jump off the side of the wagon there and approach and run up and run through that mangy mutt right there.
Draw one action, ready your shield one action, and move to him one action.
Yeah.
And
well, just have my shield. I'm not doing the ready shield action. I'm not taking the AC bonus.
I see. Thematically, you're just grabbing, you're scooping your shield up. You've got it in your hand. You're drawing your weapon, and you're stepping towards him.
Yeah.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
A move of 25, which is a human move.
That's mine.
So that's a draw and a move, which leaves you with an action token to attack if you want.
All right. Yes, I'm going to take that action. And with my rapier. Oh, I rolled a 20.
Nice. Nat?
Nat.
Very nice.
And
so remind me how that works in this game. Do we roll to confirm still, or is it just if it automatically breaches beyond 10 past what he needed, it's a critical success? There's no secondary roll. Okay.
So as long as it's a success, and it's a 20, it's a crit.
Yeah. Okay. So it is a 20. What does that modify out to? With your modifier added to the 20, what does that modify out to?
25.
25. So that is 10 more than what you needed. So you do have a critical success.
Great.
So probably the best way to look at it is if it's 10 more than he needs, it's a crit. If it's a 20, it increases whatever it was. So it's basically a double crit, but that doesn't mean anything. It's just a crit.
I see.
Yeah.
So
it's either a nat 20 or 10 over, but with the 20, you have to still modify it and still have to hit.
Yeah, exactly. And if it's not a hit after you modify it, it's still a hit. So a 20 basically just increases what you've got. Look at it that way.
I see. Okay, got it. All right. So your damage, sir, for your critical hit?
Do modifiers get doubled with crits, or just the weapon die?
Is everything doubled on a critical?
Everything is doubled.
Yeah.
And rapiers are deadly and get an additional D8 to their critical hit damage. So this is total overkill. After the
Well, have fun with your overkill.
finesse, which Electra dispatched her mangy much. Wow. Another good roll. That's 18 plus 4, so 22 points of damage.
22 points of damage. You have also killed your wolf.
Yeah, a bit.
A bit. All right, and that ends your turn.
That's for Penelope. Right. Yeah.
Fantastic. Simon, you are up on the 16 count, followed by Desna on 14, and both of you are back here.
So is dismounting the...
As part of your movement, it costs you double to exit off of the wagon.
Okay. So when I
climb, it's just you're stepping off at twice the cost.
Gotcha. Okay. So I want to step off and draw my sword and shield. And then ready my shield takes another action. I know that, right?
Yeah, you want to do that the first round, even if you're not engaging someone?
No, I want to draw my shield and sword, but I don't want to ready it because.
Sure, you pick your things up. To draw your blade out of its sheath costs you an action. So if you want to do that and have your weapon out, that'll cost you one.
Yeah.
Picking up your shield and having it in your hand costs you, nothing. I'm going to assume you had it with you. It costs you action to ready it. So you've spent one. You've pulled out your sword. Now you want to move. How much do you move on a move action?
20.
20. All right. So do you want to jump off right away, or do you want to move as far as you can forward on the wagon and then jump off?
Jump off and then move.
Okay. You jumping off the left side or the right side?
I am going to jump off the same side that my newfound friend Daisy is on.
Okay. So that's 2, 3, 4. That's a 20-foot move for you.
Okay.
You've spent 2 tokens. Do you want to move again? You can spend a third on movement.
I want to spend a third token on movement and get as close to the wolf that is near Theron as possible.
All right. Theron, that's possible. Okay. So 1, 2, that's 15. A third would be 20, and you're done.
And I'm done.
Okay. So that is a draw move. And we go to Desna.
So Desna is just like screaming because the crazy she's like, ah! Yeah, just the whole time. Because she hates violence and she thought they were cute puppies. So she's freaking out right now. I am able to do a cantrip now, right?
Yeah. You can do a cantrip, you can cast a spell, you can
so another question, am I able to one of my cantrips is message. Am I able to send a message to this large wolf over here?
Message is usually the type of spell that's done to someone who actually can talk to you and talk back to you. It assumes that there is an understanding of language. It wouldn't work with an animal.
Okay, dang. So,
or it would work and it would be delivered and not returned, and it wouldn't work the way you think it's going to.
I got you. Okay. Well, in that case, I step off the wagon, off closer to where Simon is. I know that I can't get all the way close to him. I step off the wagon. I cast shield.
Okay.
Still try not to harm anyone. Also try not to get eaten potentially by wolves.
Okay. So let me just check something real quick here. If I'm not mistaken, shield is generally the type of spell that is cast as a reaction to something happening to you. It's usually not a spell that is cast on your turn. It's usually one that's spelled off your turn, but let me just double check it still works that way. Let's see here. Shield is a cantrip. Nope, it does not work that way anymore. Okay, so it does cost one action to cast, verbal only. It works until the start of next your turn. You raise a magical shield. Raising a shield action gives you a +1 circumstance bonus to AC until your next turn, but it doesn't require a hand to use. Okay, great, fantastic.
Cool.
So you use your first token. You cast shield on yourself. You have 2 more.
Well, I jumped off the wagon and then I wanted to walk over as close as I can get to Simon.
Same side as Simon. All right. So 1, 2, 3. What's your move? How much is your movement? Is it 20 feet?
Where can I see that?
Your character sheet underneath your attributes, you'll see a box that says speed.
Speed in feet.
Yep.
Under class DC.
Yep.
It's to the left, just above melee strikes. Yeah.
Speed is 25.
25. All right. So that's 20, 25. So that is 2 tokens spent. That's a shield spell cast and a single move. You have 1 more move token left. You can continue moving forward if you like.
Yes, please.
All right. So 25 more, 5, 15, 20. 1 more diagonal would be 30. So that's pretty much where you're going to be if you want to be right next to Simon. And that is a spell move. And just remember, if you are attacked by the bad guys, your armor class is increased by 1 because of your spell shield. Okay, get down. On 13 at the bottom of the player order is Theron. Theron, if you would begin your turn for me before you call your actions, would you please make a perception check for me?
I can do that. I rolled a 2, so that's only a 9.
A 9. Okay. Even from your position mounted still on the wagon, you still standing up there up on the wagon, you can see on the periphery that there is at least 8 more wolves, and only these 3 or 4 have moved forward to actually attack the wagon. But you can you sense the presence of more outside the range of your sight and of the fight. Your turn.
All right, so I'm going to start out calling out, there's more wolves beyond. And then I'm going to pick up my crossbow, take a look at this wolf in front of me to devise a stratagem.
Okay.
Which I roll a 17.
I am happy to allow your crossbow already to be loaded next to you, since you're just kind of riding around in the wagon. It would be easy enough for you to have it loaded, so you don't have to spend any action to load it this round.
Well, I am supposed to be protecting this caravan.
Exactly.
So I go, well, I've got the beast in my sights, and then I pull the trigger.
Thump.
And that will hit an armor class of 24.
Yes, that will hit by a lot.
By 10?
24 is not by 10, it's by 9.
Oh,
I know.
son of a... and I do 7 points of damage.
Missed that jugular, missed that vein right there on the shoulder, just a little bit.
The sucker moved at the last minute. 7 points of damage.
7 points. Okay. That is still a terrible, terrible wound for the wolf to sustain. It lets out a as it takes the hit. Anything else from you?
Nope, that's all 3 of my actions.
All right. At the bottom of the order, the 2 remaining wolves, what little bit of fight they have left in them. Jaws. And okay. All right. So this wolf here wants no part of you and your damn crossbow, and he will run right at Simon. Boom.
I was hoping he was going to do that.
Let's see. He will bite at you with his jaws. Oh, God, that's funny. That is so funny. All right. So he's going to bite at you with his jaws at a +6. That's a 13 on the die for a 19 to hit your armor class.
So my armor class is 18. However, I have the skill Reactive Shield.
Okay.
So if I understand that kicks in, that pushes me to a 20.
Reactive Shield is a reaction. Is the action economy token the little swoopy arrow? Is it a reaction?
It is.
Is it?
Okay.
Yep.
And that boosts your AC by 2, and it will miss. Fantastic. It only does the one. It does the one attack for the round, and it will miss. Let's see.
Yeah, Simon.
Nice use of the shield there, Goblin.
Thank you.
30-foot line. Okay. And it can move. All right. And it can, yes. All right. So the big boy moves 10, 20, jumps over the carriage, 30, 35. We'll put him on the backside here. He will land right next to the carriage.
Oh.
And he will release a breath weapon. You heard me right. A breath weapon of acid that will hit Simon, Desna, and Daisy.
What the hell?
It is a reflex save DC 16 for the three of you, please.
Oh, dear.
So reflex is against my dex modifier, or just straight 20?
If you look at your saving throws, you have 3 saving throws in Pathfinder. On the D&D, which makes you save against each stat. Reflex is your dex.
Gotcha.
Fortitude is your constitution, and will is your wisdom, if you look at it that way.
Copy that.
Yep.
Daisy's very broad.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to.
All right.
I rolled an 8 plus 9, so 17? 17.
17 is successful. Let's see.
I'm sorry, I'm rolling the 20 die?
Yes.
Okay. And then it's modified by which?
If you look on saving throws below armor class, the one that says reflex.
Your reflex saving throw.
Okay, so I rolled a 16 and then my reflex is 4, so 20.
All right. So so all three of you saved? Daisy, you saved as well?
Yeah, Daisy was uncommonly spry.
Fuck yeah. All right.
Nice. 16 on the die.
I love it. So it would have been 12 points of acid damage reduced to only 6 points.
That's still a lot. Ow.
And it is done for the round. It is done for its turn. Top of the order, round 2, Electra. So Electra, from your position, you're right here. Yeah. You just finished knocking out that one wolf. The other one came out of the forest just past you, ran up here, bounded over the top of the carriage. So it basically leapt over the portion that connects the horses to the actual carriage. It leapt over that portion, landed on the other side. You can still see it. You can see it right on the other side of the carriage. And it released a breath weapon of acid.
Now, is Theo in the way, or can I see directly this?
You're looking basically, so you're standing next to the carriage. So you're looking over the top of the carriage, and you can see the head of the wolf over the top of the carriage. You can climb up onto the carriage and attack it from above. You can, you jump across it and jump down onto it if you want. You can run around it if you don't want to climb up on the carriage. You might have enough movement to run around that. Your call.
And could she see me?
She can.
So, you know that Theron just yelled, "What the hell?" And he's moving to reload his crossbow.
So you can move closer to it. You can get into a better position for a ranged attack if you'd like to do a ranged attack. If you want to switch to your bow and do range, since your sword's already out, you could draw your other sword. It may be too late to have both blades out, but you could spend an action to draw your blade. You could spend 2 actions to run up to that guy with the breath weapon and spend your third to attack him. You got all kinds of different options. Just depends what you're feeling.
I'm feeling like I want to rush the puppy. And
Okay. Do you want to go around the wagon or do you want to go over the top of it?
if I do a round, will that just cost 1 action or is it 2 actions?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 25, a single move will put you here. So 1 action token puts you around the corner. A second action token will put you base to base. You could spend your third to attack him. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you could attack it from above with 2 action tokens here. So that would be a single move. You could spend 1 token to there, leaving 2 more to hack it twice.
I'd like to hack it twice.
All right, cool. Did you want to pull your other weapon, or did you want to just move over there and attack twice with your longsword?
With the longsword, it's already out.
You got it. You got it. So your first attack is going to be a straight attack, since it's your first attack action of the round. So it's going to be a D20 plus your modifier again.
Oh, God.
Your total modifier, which was like a, what did we say it was? +8?
+7.
+7. Okay.
Yeah, +7.
So D20 plus 7.
Okay, so it's bad. I rolled a 1. So
Okay. So a 1 is classically a 1 is always a miss. 1 plus 7 is an 8. That is not 10 less. So that is not a critical fail. So you will just miss with your attack. Your second attack is done. For a fighter, it's 1 less, right? Instead of -5, -10, it's -4, -8 for fighters, right?
No, that's agile weapons.
Oh, that's agile weapons.
Right.
Well,
Right.
I thought fighters had a lower penalty on successive attacks.
Not unless they change the rules on me.
Okay. So your second attack roll is going to be made at -5. Your second attack takes a -5. Subsequent attacks -10.
So I rolled a 19.
19. All right. Is that on the die or is that modified?
That's on the die.
Okay. So
instead of a +7, you have a +2, right? Is that another way to think about it?
Exactly. So 19 plus 2 is a 21. That is enough to hit. So you can roll your damage.
There you go. Nice.
3.
3 plus your strength modifier.
Which is 2.
So 5.
5 points. Okay. Which is 30. Let's see. And he is 18, 30. Got it. All right. Fantastic. And that was 5 points of damage we just did to him, right?
Correct.
On your second attack, the first one missed. All right, beautiful. So that's Electra's second round. You moved and you attacked twice. You are done. Following up on 17 is Daisy, and then Simon behind Daisy. Daisy, you are up.
All right. Smoking because I'm all covered in like acid. I ready my shield as 1 action. I move up to the nearest wolf as my second, and run it through as my
1,
third.
2, 3, 4. So that's a move of 20.
Yep.
Your shield is readied, and you can use your last action to attack on the round.
Nope. A 1 for a total of 6. Is that a
Okay.
critical? Is that a critical?
It is not a hit, and it is not a critical failure.
Okay.
So good
I can't
on
see because
you.
I got freaking acid in my eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Wiping the acid out of your eyes.
Ah,
And 4. Simon, you are up on 16, followed by Desna on 14.
Okay, I am going to, for my first action, I'm going to raise my shield, and then with my second action, I'm going to attack the wolf that is right in front of me.
Okay. Chakalaka.
Okay. And I rolled a 15, so that resolves to a 22.
That will hit. You are successful.
Outstanding. So I do 5 points of damage with my longsword to the wolf in front of me. Ha 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 ha! That's what you get.
Yep, that might even be the first creature you've ever killed, Simon. That's your very first kill in combat. So, all right, excellent. I believe you have an action left. Do you want to spend it?
Yes, I want to move forward to the other wolf that is deciding it's a good idea to mess with Electra.
15. All right, put you base to base with the other wolf. Outstanding. That ends Simon's turn, and we move to Desna on 14, followed by Theron on 13.
Okay. So I'm done screaming. Now I'm just clapping for Simon.
Yay!
So my next action, I move forward. I'm to be standing next to Simon.
You'll be base to base with the wolf if you do.
Can I stand on the other side of Simon or behind him slightly?
Your move is 25 and around.
Yes.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a move of 20. That puts you behind him without touching the woofie.
And then I have one left, right? Or two left?
Let's see. All you've done this round so far is move. So you have two action points left.
Okay. So I have a cantrip daze. I try to cast the wolf with that.
Okay. All right. What does the wolf get a saving throw versus your daze?
I don't know.
All right. Well, let's look. I got it right here. Likely so. Unless if it doesn't, you're going to have to roll a 2-hit to roll. But I believe this is a saving throw thing. So daze.
I believe it's a will save.
That is a 2-token spell. So you moved and you cast. That's totally good with all 3. Range is 60 feet. Targets 1 creature. Saving throw is will. All right. So what does the creature need to save against your cantrip? There should be a saving throw DC listed with your spells.
Saving throw DC.
Let's see what page on your character sheet it should be listed. It should be.
So it's under spell DC?
Exactly.
So which number is that? There's a 13, a 10, which is the DC base, and then
No, we want the number before the equals. So all that other stuff adds up to make your spell DC. So what's your spell DC?
13.
13. All right. So that's what he needs to roll. Thank you very much. So he needs to make a will save on your 13. He is critically successful. So your daze has no effect on him.
Thanks.
That ends your turn. And
So do I have one more turn, or is that it?
No, that was a 2 cast. That was a 2-token cast. So it's 2 action points to cast that cantrip because it's somatic and verbal. Right. Okay. So if you make mumblies with your hands, it costs you 1. If you say magic words, it costs you 2. And if you pull out ingredients and add something else to it, it costs you 3. Largely is the case.
So very quickly, my guess is that her DC is actually 16.
Oh,
because she's probably trained in it, and that box might not be clicked.
Ah, yes. Okay. So if you look on that sheet, Dana.
So
where it says spell DC,
mm-hmm.
The little check boxes, you should have a T. You should have the trained checkbox.
It's clicked.
And you're still a 13?
Yeah.
So here's the question, Stephen. There's a box that says key, and there's nothing in that. Should something be in the box that says key?
Yes.
Yeah. What's your charisma? I take it you're a charisma caster.
Oh, I have like 18 charisma.
Okay, so when that key put a 4, your DC is actually 17.
17.
Oh,
right.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, that was a failing on our part when we created the character, so that's my bad.
All right. He's still
it happens.
Dave. Yeah, he still aced that save. That saving throw was still way up in the 26 range. So he still aced it, but good to know. Also, if anybody else is a spellcaster, if we ever have any other spellcasting in there, make sure you make those adjustments on your character sheet as well. So you cast, that was a 2-token cast. You moved as 1. That ends your turn. Theron at the bottom of the player order.
Well, first principles, I'm going to reload my crossbow.
Okay.
Second, I'm going to use my expeditious inspection to do a seek action on this wolf that spit acid, seeing if I could see like strange markings, ruins, some kind of mechanism that would allow him to do that. I'm very puzzled by it.
Okay.
And that is a 15 perception on that.
Other than being a little larger and a little darker in his coloration, nothing really stands out about this wolf other than the fact that it can breathe acid.
Fascinating. All right. I'm just going to fire. I'm not going to devise a stratagem on this one.
Okay.
Just in case I need to be a little bit quicker next round. So that is only a 4, so that's an 8.
An 8 does not hit, and it is a critical fail.
Oh, son of a. And then I'm grumbling, I'm going to reload my crossbow.
Okay. Does a critical fail on a miss? That's not a mishap on your weapon or anything like that, is it?
No, not on strikes. Not in this game.
Okay. It doesn't like break your bowstrings or do some kind of fucking.
No, that would be Delve, not this game.
Ah, excellent. We'll get to that in due time. In due time. All right. So load, shoot, load again. So you're doing a second load action this round, so you're already loaded for next round, correct?
Exactly.
Perfect. Gotcha. Bottom of the order is the one remaining wolf, the big one. He's big, he's black, he's nasty. He is going to howl, unleashing a terrifying howl. Everyone, let's see. There's 30 feet. Okay. The effect: additional enemies within 30 feet of them. Demoralize. Okay. So it says it demoralizes all enemies within 30 feet. So I believe that's everyone. And when it does that, there is a calling from the other wolves, the ones that you had seen earlier, the ones that you had seen going around. So I'm trying to see what demoralize does. Allowing it to demoralize all enemies within 30 feet. So is that an action that it does when it demoralizes, or is that just a value? I don't see it in the conditions. You
were muted, Theo. Down.
Sorry, it's an action as part of Intimidate. So basically, choose a creature within 30 feet of you who's aware of it. Attempt an intimidation.
Yeah, it's all enemies. Yeah.
All right, so we have to make will saves.
Okay. Oh, demoralize is part of the intimidate skill.
Yep. Yeah,
I see.
It's part of that action.
I see. All right, got it. Those are feats.
It's language dependent. It's auditory. It says if you don't understand the language you are speaking, I'm going to assume that that's not the case. This is a special ability.
Right, exactly. And it's a howling kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So you understand that. Let's see. Intimidation check against the target's will DC. If the target does not understand. Okay, so that's not going to apply. So what determines the target's DC? The thing's intimidation check?
No, the target's DC is their will DC. So you take your will save, and you add 10, and that's your will DC.
I see. Okay. All right. So that's an 18.
Well, it's going to make intimidation checks against all of us, and that's the DC it's got to hit on each one of us.
In order to demoralize, it needs to roll an 18 or better on all of you?
No, it needs to do better than our will DC. Each one of us has a will DC. So, for instance, I have a will of +7, so mine is 17. But other folks in the party will have different values.
Oh, I see. It needs to make an intimidation check. Okay, it's split it between pages. That's where I missed. It needs to make an intimidation check with no circumstance bonus. Enemies cannot be affected by the howl more than once. All right, so it needs to make an intimidation check. Got it. All right, so making that roll at +10, it rolls a 15 on the die, so that's a 25. So
which one is it going up against? Is it one roll or is it?
It's one roll for the howl made against everyone within 30 feet.
Okay.
So that's a 25. Wait, is that right? 15 and 8. No, that's a 23. That's a 23. And
my guess is that'll crit all of us.
Yeah, if it's successful, you're frightened 1. And if you're critically successful, if your number was lower than 15, then you have frightened 2.
15 or lower than 15.
I'm sorry, not 15. It would be it rolled a 23. So 10 less than 23 would be 13. So if you rolled a 13 or less, you critically failed. Is that right? Am I doing that right?
So yes. Sort of. So it made its check. It's a 23.
Yeah.
My guess is none of us have a will DC of 23. If you have a will DC of 13 or lower, then you're crit. My will DC is 17. So I am frightened 1.
So your will DC is your will score +10?
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
Got it. Okay. So if you fail, so frightened, the frightened condition, you're gripped by fear and struggle to control your nerves. The frightened condition always includes a value. You take a status penalty equal to this value on all of your checks and DCs. So frightened 1 is a -1 penalty on everything. Unless specified otherwise, at the end of your turn, the value of your frightened condition decreases by 2. So had you critically failed, you'd be at frightened 2 for a round, then frightened 1 for a round, then normal.
It decreases by 2 in one round?
It decreases by 1. Yeah.
Oh, okay, 1, yeah.
So he rolled a 23. So I rolled a 10. No,
you don't roll.
Your will is what? What's your will?
I got you.
What's your will?
It's 7, so mine's a 17.
So it's a 17. So you are frightened 1.
Right. So Desna, I think your question was, how do you determine that? If you look at saving throws, you should have a will number at the top. For saving throws, do you see that?
And you add 10 to that. You add 10 to that for your will DC. So yours was also 17.
17, yeah, same as mine.
1. Frightened 1. All right, so that was a 2-action move for him. He howled, and to end his turn as a single action, he is going to take a bite at a little Simon's feet. He's going to try to do his thing there. So that's at a +11. He rolls a 17 on die, so that is a 28. That might be a critical success against you.
That's no good.
Although, can you continue? Can you do that reaction armor thing again?
Well, I've already got my. I think so. But that's only going to get me to armor class 20. He's still going to hit me.
He's still going to hit you, but it'll turn it from a hit, from a critical hit to just a hit.
Well, he's got it's an automatic reaction. It's just anytime I'm attacked, I do that.
Did you
It's
raise
not-
your shield?
It's not an automatic reaction.
Oh,
You
okay.
have to call it out.
I raised my shield in the previous round, but I didn't raise. I haven't. It's not my turn yet, but it's up from the last. So I should be at armor class 20.
So it's still up. It's still going
Okay.
to hit, but you could use shield block to reduce the damage if you want.
And what does the shield increase your armor class to?
To 20, I believe it's +2, right?
Yep.
To 20. All right. So your AC is 20. He rolled a 28 to hit you. So that is not a critical hit. So having the extra AC made all the difference in the world. He
Okay.
is going to do to you 4 points of piercing damage plus 4 points of acid damage plus knockdown.
So this triggers my liberating step, as it seems even that despite Daisy being 15 feet or 10 feet away from Simon at the time, suddenly Daisy's right there, and he's like, nope, and he like blunts the attack of the bite just a little bit with his shield, and then in that second he's back 10 feet away again.
How
And
far
so-
away can you do that?
15 feet.
You're more than 15 feet away.
Am I from Simon?
You're right there. So 5. Oh no, you're no, you'd be 5'10". So 10. You have to be right. You have to get to him, or you have to get to the bad guy.
To whoever's taking the damage and whoever's triggering it. So it would be him. I have to be within
You just-
15 feet of Simon.
And you just have to be base to base with Simon in order for that.
No, I don't have to be base to base. I have to be within 15 feet.
Oh, you don't actually move. You stay in the same place.
Yeah.
I see.
That's super liberator mojo.
Okay. All right. And what does that do?
It gives him DR3 against that attack.
He's got to be 15 feet of both Simon and the wolf. So
Oh, okay. And the wolf.
Oh, okay. All right. So that doesn't work this round,
Damn it.
right?
5, 10. Yeah, I'm having a hard time seeing the squares, but I think he is within 15 feet of the wolf.
Well, he's here, so that's 5,
5, 10.
15.
Oh.
So 5, 10. He's base to base with both of them. So yeah, it would work.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
It would totally work. So that gives him some damage absorption. You're absorbing some of his damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
DR3.
H-I-J-K. I'm looking for knockdown. I'm guessing that's some kind of an attack action, isn't it? How do they do trip? How do they do how do we handle knockdown? I'm not finding these rules anywhere.
Yeah, I think it's just trip. That might actually be. It might be in the best here. Yeah, that's weird. It's odd wording to me, but let me double check.
Yeah, so its damage is 1d6 plus 2 piercing plus 1d4 acid plus knockdown. And knockdown is capitalized, so I'm getting the impression like that's a
Let me double check. Oh.
yeah. And then that's going to end the creature's turn, and it will be Electra's turn after that. So Electra,
What's the total damage on that?
It was 4 pierce. No, it was 3 piercing and 4 acid, and I just have to resolve the knockdown portion of it.
Okay.
Electra, you're up next. So if you want to go ahead and plan out what you want to do while I am figuring out how this knockdown works.
And my liberating step reduced that damage by 3.
By 3 points.
Yeah.
So that would be the piercing portion would be reduced by 3 points.
Yeah, suddenly Daisy was there knocking his jaws out of the way, but then the acid sprayed out. And like, gotcha.
So it's 5 points of damage total, or I'm not sure. That's where I'm still.
You
not
took
clear.
7 total. He reduced 3. So you took 4.
Okay, so 4. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
Half then. I guess.
All right. I'm not finding it. I'm not finding an answer. So let's just do a I'm guessing an opposed strength check. So let's just do an opposed strength check to see if he knocks you off your feet. Until we figure it out.
I rolled a 2, so a 4
Okay.
total.
So he knocks you prone. And he ends his turn. So the wolf manages to bite at your leg. He gets a piece of your ankle. He whips your leg up, and you're prone.
Okay.
Top of the order is Electra, round 3. So, Electra, you've got high ground. You're in the same position you were in last time. So if you want to just stay right where you're at and take 3 attacks this round, you could. If you want to draw your short sword and attack once with each weapon, you could do that.
I want to draw my
your weapon and take a double slice.
Oh, yeah. I want to practice my double slice.
Yeah. So you could draw your short sword as an action, and then do your double slice as a 2 action, and you get to attack with each weapon as if it was your first attack. So without modifier, if I read that correctly.
So just roll a d20.
Yep. So you're going to roll 1 to hit for your long sword, and then you're going to roll 1 to hit for your short sword.
18 on the first one.
Okay.
Oh, 18 on the second one. Hey.
Right.
Both natural 18s?
Yes.
Okay, so that'll be 18 plus 7. So we want to get in the habit of calling out the modified numbers so I'm not confused.
Okay.
So 18 and 7 is a 25. And then are you just as good with your short sword as you are with your long sword? Are you plus 7 with that as well?
Yes.
All right, so those will both hit. Now you can roll your damage with each. I believe one is a D8 and the other is a D6.
Yep, and you're going to do +2 to both of those, Electra. So whatever you roll, +2.
With the D8, 3 plus 2, so 5.
Okay.
And then with the D6, it's 4 plus 2, which is 6.
6. All right. Nice. 11 points delivered. Pow. And that is 3 tokes for you. And that takes us to Daisy, followed by Simon.
All right, I think Simon going down. I was like, no, he rushes forward. Shield held high. Do you spend a ready action or spend the action raise shield? Move forward. Second action. Thrust with the rapier as the third.
Okay.
Get off my buddy.
How about thee?
14 plus 5 is a 19.
19 will hit his armor class. Just barely.
It's a big snarling, yapping face looking at me with acid dripping off the jaws. It's not what I expected when I ate my oatmeal this morning.
Yep.
So it's 6 points.
6 points?
Yeah.
6. Okay, awesome. Are you done?
Done.
Simon, followed by Desna.
So I want to stand up and try and I guess stand up and attack.
So getting up from prone.
Yeah.
Does that provoke? Is that a thing anymore? 621. I'm looking to see if getting up from prone provokes attacks of opportunity, because it used to. You're lying on the ground, you're flat-footed, and take a -2 circumstance penalty to attack rolls. The only move action you can use while you're prone are crawl or stand. Standing up ends the prone condition. You can take cover while prone. All right, so does standing provoke? Does the action of standing provoke?
Ends the prone condition. You can take cover while prone to hunker down.
Read that. We need to know if the action of standing provokes. So, I don't know. I don't know the answer. Stand, basic action, stand up from prone, 471. Oh, okay. I think that's where I was just at. 471. Yeah, that is where I was just at. Okay. Stand. You move up, you stand from prone. It does not provoke, it takes 1 action. All right. So you stand up. That takes 1 action.
I'm going to use my second action to raise my shield and my third action to attack
Okay.
the wolf in front of me.
Shield up. Boom. Third action. Attack.
Attack. Okay, so let's see what we got. And I rolled an 11 resolved, so I'm assuming that is a miss.
Total hit 11 will miss for sure.
Okay, and that's my 3.
Desna.
Dang. So I cast Produce Flame.
Okay.
I don't know what else I need to do with that.
And that takes how many tokens to cast?
It's one of my innate spells, so I'm not sure.
Okay, just it still costs you
2
regardless
actions.
of whether it's an innate spell, it's still gonna cost you. So what you may want to do on your spells moving forward is take notes on your sheet of which spells are costing and casting what, so you have a better idea of that. So that's Produce Flame, and it's a 2 to cast.
Yes.
Is that what? All right. Produce Flame. All right, so you produce the flame. It creates flame in your hand, and then you can make a spell attack roll with it. You can use it to either use it for melee or for range. So you're going to use your spell attack bonus and add that to your DC.
No. She makes an attack. The spell attack is a positive number. It'll be +7.
That's her spell attack roll.
Yep. So it's just like making an attack.
So D20 +7.
Okay. So I rolled a 13, so 20.
All right, 20 hits his armor class. It is successful. It deals 1d4 fire plus your spell casting ability modifier.
So you said 1d4?
Uh-huh. 1d4 plus your charisma modifier in flame damage.
Which is 4, so.
Okay, so I rolled 2.
So
2.
6.
6 points. All right. 18, 28. Okay, fantastic. That is two for you. Do you want to do anything else? You have 1 action left, I believe.
How many did my shield take? Was it just 1?
Just 1.
1? Can I just raise my shield again then?
Can you cast shield again?
I'm sorry, cast shield again, please.
Can you cast produce flame and shield in the same round?
They're cantrips, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're all cantrips.
Yeah, as long as she's got the actions. So she.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah, you can cast another spell. So you cast shield. You shield up. Theron, your turn.
Okay, so before it's my turn, I did some research because I am the investigator.
Woohoo!
Knockdown is a monster ability that strangely got left off of Bestiary 1, but it isn't Bestiary 2. For him to do the knockdown, he's got to spend an extra action to do basically it's a trip. So, but
even if it's listed as being combined as part of that attack, it still
yes,
has to spend the extra action.
Unless it's improved knockdown, and then that is the free action one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that would have played out a little different, but I'm glad we know moving forward.
Right.
Okay, good.
With that kind of geekiness out of the way, I am going to devise a stratagem with my crossbow, since it's nice and loaded.
Yep.
So, and I roll low. So that is going to end up not hitting. So I am not.
Don't hit me, bro.
I am not going to fire my crossbow.
Because your stratagem did not reveal to you the best shot, right?
Right.
So you opt not to fire.
I ought not to fire because it would just be pointless. All right. So that is 2 actions. I'm seeing I can't really provide any. Well, yeah, I could. All right. So I am because Daisy is now base to base.
Daisy
Or-
is now engaged with the Caustic Wolf and also base to base with Simon. And technically with Desna as well. The three of them are all clustered together.
Okay. But not close enough where I could provide a flank?
You are on a higher level being on top of the wagon.
Well, no, I'm talking about moving around to the other. I'm going to get off the wagon, move so I can eventually, if Daisy moves forward, provide a flank for Daisy.
Oh, sure. Gotcha. So you're going to end up over here.
Yes.
So you're going to move through Electra Square, 1, jump down to 3.
Yep. I'm going to leave. I'm going to drop my crossbow back in there. And then with my, let's see, that's 2 actions. With my third action, I'm going to draw my clan dagger.
Okay. All right. Fantastic.
And that's my turn.
All right. Bottom of the order. And what does it say about all that?
And I am now frightened 0.
Okay.
Are we all now frightened 0?
Not know. This would be if you went a whole turn and it came back to your turn again, because the frighten happened on its howl, so now it's turn again. So now if you go after this, then you'll be at frighten 0. Well, I don't know that he's that smart that he could know that. So there is the I guess he's just gonna take some chompage. I think that's what he's gonna do. I think he is just going to have at thee with all that he can. He is going to bite this round. That's what he's going to do. Faced with no good options for movement and getting away from you, it's bite time. So first bite. He's going to spread it around. Each of you on the ground around him is going to get one. So he's going to begin with Daisy. He's going to then bite Simon, and then he's going to end his turn by biting Theron, or at least trying to.
Current AC is 16.
So Daisy, the first one comes at you. He rolls a modified 27.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And your AC is what?
That's a crit, actually. Yeah.
Okay. So he's going to do
He's going to take
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points of piercing damage. And 6 points of acid damage. No knockdown.
That puts me in -10.
Put you down. Okay. Boom. Second attack on Simon.
So the good news is you're 0. There's no negative.
Correct.
Good.
Yeah. Second bite is at +6 on Simon. That is a 2. 2 + 6 is an 8. That will miss. And last but not least, attack on Theron is done at only a +1. And that is a 19 + 1 is a 20. 20 hits your AC, Theron?
It does.
Okay. So, but just, right? It's
By 4.
Okay. So he is going to bite you for 4 points of piercing and 2 points of acid. And that ends his turn on 3 tokens spent. That brings us to the top of the order, round 4. That is Electra.
I'm going to go stab 3 times. I'm going to take all my actions to stab this.
Okay. Do you want to do a double slice and then a third single hit at -5? Or did you want to go, 0, -5, -10?
0, -5, -10.
Okay. All right. So you want to take three straight attacks. So the first one is your longsword.
Yep.
So roll +7.
19.
That'll hit. Just D8 plus 2.
Two.
2 points. All right. Your second attack is going to be at plus 2. So D20 plus 2.
At first attack, Electra, shouldn't that be at least 4? Because you had a plus 2 for your strength.
She rolled a 2 and added 2 to it. Right.
No, I mean the damage.
It was a 2 on the die plus 2 for 4.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, that was a 5 on the dice and 7. So
All right. So 5 plus 2, because it's your second attack, is going to miss. And then your third and final attack with your long sword again. So long sword, short sword. Now your long sword again.
natural 20.
Oh, look at you. So so if you're plus 7 to hit normally and you're negative 10 on your third attack, does that mean you're negative 3 on your attack? On the third attack? Is that how that works? Does it modify into the negatives?
I'm sorry, I was looking at some rules. What's the question?
So if you're plus 7 with your weapon, and on
Yeah.
your third strike you're negative 10, so you're essentially negative 3. So
Right.
she rolled a natural 20. So she actually rolled a 17.
No, it's still a natural 20.
Okay.
But she hits an armor class at 17,
It's a natural 20. Okay, so which is not a hit.
which is not a hit. But the 20 increases it by 1, so it is a hit, but it's not a crit.
Oh, okay. Dynamite. All right, got it. So that is a longsword strike, and you can roll your D8 plus 2 to end your turn.
4 plus 2, 6.
And that is enough to kill the wolf. You have defeated the caustic wolf.
Don't mess with Electra. She will
Oh,
fuck
man.
you up.
All right. Well done. Let's see here.
Okay, it's been a little while since I've used these rules, so I had to look them up.
Yeah.
So Daisy is at 0 hit points and is dying.
Okay.
He is at dying 2 because it was a crit that put him under.
Okay.
His initiative moves to just after the creature that gacked him.
Just after. Okay.
Right.
All right. As far as determining death saves and things normally.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
I do get a special thing with death saves, having the toughness feat.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't know if I'm able to do this at all, but I also have the cantrip stabilize, and I can stabilize a dying creature. Would I be able to use that on Daisy?
Yes.
Can I
Absolutely.
do
Exactly what this is for, yeah.
That's
Can I
exactly
do that?
Absolutely.
On your turn, yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're out of combat.
Oh, we're out of combat.
That was the last wolf that killed the caustic wolf, and upon destroying the leader, the other wolves don't seem too keen to want to come in and challenge you at this time. So you are free to deal with your friend and to deliver stabilization and to help him with healing.
Okay.
Gorse and Tamley inspect the caravan to make sure everyone is okay. When the wolves charged in, they spooked the horses pulling the wagons. While the teamsters kept them from bolting during the attack, the rear wagon was pulled several feet off the trail and into the muck, making it impossible to move now. This did not affect the fight at all, but it does prevent the wagons from moving on. You hear Tamley calling out to Ulf and Ulf, saying, "Wagon's stuck 2 foot deep in the mud. Get your asses over here and help me pull it out." So it only takes a round or so for you to deal with getting Daisy stabilized. How else would you like to heal him? Once he's stable, that'll keep him from dying. But what's the next step?
I am going to use my medicine skill to treat wounds, which takes 10 minutes.
Okay. You have the time to do so.
All right. Let's see. The DC is usually 15, but the GM can modify it.
Yep.
And I have a +5 on my medicine, so let's hope I roll better than average. Which I do. So 21 modified, which is not a critical success. So Daisy is going to get back 4 hit points because I didn't roll that well on that one.
Very nice.
And your wounded condition is removed because usually you would have the wounded condition.
Uh-huh.
So that's good. You've got some hit points. I can't
Yeah.
do that to you again for 24 hours. I
For
believe.
24 hours. Right.
Yep.
Right. All right. Good
So-
job.
I could have rolled better.
Nice.
Damn it, Caden. Not today.
While Theron is spending that time administering the healing to Daisy, the rest of you can see that Ulf and Ulf are really struggling with Tamley, and it looks like they could use some help pulling that wagon out of the mud. Does anybody want to jump in and get in on some of that?
Sure, I'll give him some help.
Okay, Simon, you're going to go over there and give him help. Electra, what are you doing?
Resting.
You're resting. All right, so you're just kicking it. You get back up into the wagon and sit down. Get your rest on. Probably cleaning the blood off of you. All right. So and Desna, what are you doing? Are you going to go over and help with the wagon as well, even though you're not the strongest sort?
I know that I'm not strong, and so I clap for Simon, and I go and sit next to Theron and Daisy, and just watch quietly, make sure that Daisy's okay.
All right, fantastic. Simon, I would like you to make an athletics check for me.
All right, athletics, and I rolled a 19.
19. Fantastic. You are successful in the group effort. There's some ropes involved. You guys managed to pull the cart out of the mud, and no one sustained any fatigue as a result of it. So that's very good. Bort goes around and he checks on everyone. He hands out some gauze-like fabric that has been soaked in a cool liquid that feels good to touch on wounds. And if anybody has been wounded, he hands those out to everyone.
Yes, please.
Make sure you put some of this on that. It'll keep the wounds clean and keep them from getting sus. And he gets to Ulf and Ulf. They're really playing up their injuries. So now that they've done this strenuous strength thing and they've pulled the wagon out of the mud, and now they're just playing it up. They're looking for sympathy, and they're looking for people to go, "Oh, good job," pat them on the back. So they're kind of playing them up, and of course it falls on deaf ears with Bort. He gives them these little compresses and lets them deal with it himself. Finally, he purviews your accomplishments, and he begins with Electra. He comes over and he thanks you profusely for what you've done. He makes his way to each one of you and thanks you and says, I owe each and every one of you dinner. When we reach Etrin's Folly, I'm buying all of you your first warm meal in town. Amazing stuff. Good stuff, folks.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. That would be nice.
I knew when I made special considerations to bring you onto the caravan that you were the right people to do so. And the gods have shined upon us today and have shown us that this is by far the right decision. We are on the correct path.
Sure.
All right. So I think that is a fantastic stopping point for session 1. I think we will wrap right there outside of Etrin's Folly, having our first tangible experience with some fighting. I think that went well. And I look forward to further episodes and further sessions. Upon closing, is there anything that anyone would like to say, or any role playing that you'd like to occur? Anything that needs to be said publicly to the group or to someone in the caravan before we close scene?
Well, I can still do some healing.
Sure.
So we can either do that.
We can
off-
handle it now. Let's go
camera.
ahead and handle it now, so
All right.
everyone's in perfect shape. Then
Who else needs healing?
I've almost been bitten in half, so that would be wonderful.
Well, I will attempt to treat wounds on you. Hopefully, I roll well on the first roll, which I did. Let's see how many hit points you gain back. That's a much better roll. You gain 12 hit points.
Simon,
Great, I was only down. I'm fully healed. Thank you very much.
Ian kind of holds up his thigh, and you can kind of see points where there's light coming through,
Right.
where the wolf bit through his thigh.
Yeah, we'll fix that.
We'll fix that.
I will attempt it on me as well. I've lost a little bit of hit points, but Doctor Heal Thyself does not work, so I'm going to have to live with that damage. Anybody else?
I am down a bit, but
All right.
Daisy kind of sucks it up. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Well,
Fine. It's okay.
So sorry, Daisy. I actually rolled a 1 on that. And so you're
Yeah.
going to take 2 more hits because I'm not the greatest doctor in the world.
Yeah, and I'm not the greatest patient.
He helps me just fine, Dave.
I
You know what
got
you're
it,
complaining
I'm
about. It
fine.
worked great.
And then I reopen the stitches. You know. Oh, see now what you did.
All righty.
I don't have any healing powers to help anyone, but I go around shaking everyone's hand, telling everyone they did a great job.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And there is the leader of the caravan and your host. I just wanted to throw an image of Bort Bargith up so that you could see what he looked like.
He does have a finely manicured beard, so well played.
He is sweet looking business, that guy.
I do not spend that much time on my beard.
Nor should you. Nor should any man or any dwarf.
I definitely won't tell Bort that.
I think it's fashion.
Fantastic. All right.
I was
Great.
just wanting to keep twigs out of it. Should be fine.
Great first session. We got over our little bumps and some of the technological things, and I'm sure as we move forward, things are going to get smoother and smoother and smoother. I had a fantastic time. Thank you all for taking your time out of your day to join us to play, and thank you, Busters, for joining us, for watching, for caring, and for being part of this. And I hope you're learning at least as much as I am.
Yeah, thanks everyone,
Yeah.
and thank you, Mike. That was fun.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Mass Man.